So what we're going to do today is do some shearing. God, I have a bunch of bunnies. Every time I talk about this, I have so many to shear. Because you know what? I was calculating I need to do some serious breeding. Because I want a bunch of big juniors for convention in the fall. And if I do that, I have to do that right now. And I'm not ready. My bunnies aren't ready. Right? I need to get them naked, boys and girls. And then I need to keep some serious show coats for nationals, right? That's in Reno too. And that's in just 2 months. So I'm focused. I'm narrowing down. I am serious about sharing my entire house, my entire rabbit tree, except for those show coats. Yeah, they're all going to get naked by Sunday. I got to quit fuddy-duddying around it and just do it. So I've got Neslie Fluff. She's going to be first. She has, she's 8 months old. She's my F2. I think I'm calling her my F2. She's an F2 French. How did that work out? But her daddy is the grand champion fawn French Angora I got from Carol Green in California. And he's just beautiful. And the mama is Twinkle. God, she produces some beautiful babies. And she's a F1 French giant cross. So she's an F2 French or an F1 giant. I don't know. She's been showing as a giant, and you know she's got 9 legs. I can't register her. That's a whole nother video. I should do a video on that. What's a leg in the rabbit world, and how do you grand champion? Whew. But the reason I can't register her is she's not a purebred. She needs to be an F4. So all of those crossbred rabbits in the making, in the lineage, needs to be off the pedigree, and she needs to be a purebred. But you know, she's gorgeous. So she's not going to West Coast Classic. So I know she's going to get naked. And my second one I got here, I'm trying to bring up 2 on my lives. Because if one rabbit gets annoyed with me, and sometimes they do, they can take a break. And then I can just pick up the other one. So Kahlua is a chocolate buck, and he's a brother. And he's just dropped down gorgeous. But his body wasn't quite as good. For some reason, when I did my original, I only have him as a 7. And I rate the kids 1 to 10. 10 being, oh my God, you're so good, you're not leaving the barn. And 1, well, anything below a 6 is usually called. And he's a 7. But I kept him. I don't know why. He just didn't make the call list right away. I think because he's a chocolate, and I am seriously working with my Duluth colors. And Twinkle, even though she's only an F1 French cross, but every single one of her babies have beautiful coloring, no spotting, no white toenails. God, knock on wood. There's some real wood in here. Yeah, so her background is just, And of course, you can't go wrong with, who's the baby daddy on that? What's his name? Pumpkin Spice. He was just such a sweetheart. Okay, Neslie Fluff. Because she's going to have a date night for sure. I'm going to, before I pull her out, because she's a handful. She's got an attitude. She's not aggressive, but she's busy. So I need both hands ready. So this is my first time turning my phone upside down. recording in the back. So hang on, you guys. I will be looking at my iPad just to make sure there's a little delay. And I got some fluff up my nose. I'm going to sneeze. I don't want to do that live. Good Lord. I'm going to put that up a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Okay, Neslie, here we go. Would you look at that coat? My God, she's just gorgeous. I blew her out this morning. I blew several of them out this morning, and but I didn't do anything else. I should put up my tubs. I should have one more tub around here somewhere. She's busy. She's busy little girl. And I've got my shears and my scissors all ready to go. I'm going to put my notebook over here. Whenever I work with this young lady, she is busy. I'm going to try to make sure that she's in camera zone. Hi, honey pot. And of course, besides gawking at her wool, how long is your wool on top here? It's just crazy long. Oh my God. It's 6 inches. More if you count the guard hair. Yeah, more if you count the guard hair. I don't think you need your toenails trimmed. So we're going to just tip you upside down and do the hard part first. Yep. That's what we do. We do the hard part first. God, how much do you weigh? I didn't weigh you this morning. And she's got some of her wool wet back here. That's to be expected. Yeah, her toenails aren't too bad. And here's a trick. I try not to trim the toenails if I'm harvesting my prime wool, because you know what? Those little toenails, they get in the wool and it's hard to pick out sometimes and you miss it. And nothing's more annoying for your customers than picking out toenails. Well, it is for me. It's kind of that annoying thing, like I'm going to put my thirds over here because my prime and my seconds. I usually have 3 tubs. And this is wet. I was going to a show, I would dampen that off, and it's slightly wet. So it's a little pea stained and a little webby. So all of this stuff is going to go in my second pile. And what I am doing is keeping all of my seconds for a dye party. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. But it's just a little webby, little pea on there. So all of my weird colors, all of my longish stuff. That's some thirds because it's too short. That's going to go off there. Webby. Oh, see, there's resistance. That's webby. Hi, lover. Yeah. Normally, I'd just take a shears to her, but I'm going to be a little bit careful with her. This is her first haircut. Do you believe that? Obviously, she's had a ton of grooming sessions, seconds. But this is the first time she's actually been naked all the way. And if she was a purebred, and if her coat wasn't, there's a lot of ifs here. And if she didn't have quite the length, if she had 3 or 4 inches, I would be tempted to keep blowing her out and put her on the show table at West Coast Classic. But she's not any of those things. Okay, we're going to get into the shorter stuff. I wonder if I should show you this. In some of my previous videos, I have talked about this. My pre-show, there's some belting. I get sidetracked, you guys. Still fitful. Yes, lover. I know she's breathing heavy. I've talked about my secret weapon, kind of. Not really secret because I've been telling everybody, right? But if you're planning a pre-show, like 2 months in advance, a pre-show trim for a massive coat. And this is what it looks like when you have that massive coat and it's all grown out. Because what I did before, 2 months ago, is I trimmed her whole feet. Believe it or not, her feet grew out. Yeah. I trimmed her feet and I followed along her kneecap. Now, naturally, she's a little light on wool on her kneecaps, so that's the reason I don't go crazy. But I followed her kneecap, cleaned her whole groin area, up around there in the base of her tail, both feet. You can tell it's shorter. And I trimmed her whole belly. I followed, don't kick my bucket, sweetheart. Did that tickle? Sorry. Yeah. And I followed her nipple line on both sides, trimming this right down to the skin. And I left the dewlap and I went from armpit to armpit, trim that. And then she can focus on all that energy and be comfortable and grow that massive wool on top. And she obviously did. So when I go to that show, let's pretend that that I'm a judge today. I'm going to check her sex, check her toenails. That judge, look at this. It's almost 2 inches. I should get my ruler out, and there's a little bit of a distinction between here and here. There's about 2 inches difference. But the judge isn't going to focus on that. Now, if there's any judges watching me today, you're going to know my secret. So, shh. But the reason I do this, you guys, is satins and French, for the most part, hi, sweetheart, don't have as much density as the giants. And I'm getting to know English a little bit more as I dabble with English. These guys, yeah, giants in English share this trait. They have as much wool on their bellies as they do on the top side, and the others just don't. Now, because I pre-trimmed her, she's pretty light, but most purebred French may not need this trimming or satins, but the giants do. But anyway, that's my secret. And this is how it looks when it's all grown out. So later this weekend, after I do this massive shearing my entire barn, everybody that's not destined to go to West Coast Classic is going to get naked, hopefully. Those that are going to West Coast Classic, I will do this trim because it's right at 2 months. so they can sit pretty in their cages and be comfortable and grow that fur on top and sides and their dewlap. I never trim that until actual shearing day. I just let that go. They're usually cleaning themselves and yeah, so we're going to continue here. We got a bunch of thirds. That's too short for really anything. Now, sometimes this leg wool you can keep for seconds, but I'm not going to do that. And as I'm snipping, I'm being really careful not to get her. Yes, because this is her first real haircut, so I don't want her to have a negative experience. And these scissors are sharp. When I go in, I always make sure I know where the scissors is. And one way to just make sure is always look for the ends. I put my scissors in there and then I snip once I see the end. Yep. Now these really short pieces, oh my gosh, you guys, don't throw anything away because there's many, many, many uses for these things as well. You can throw it in a laundry bag and throw it in your sink with some hot water and some soap. And the reason I wash it is to get it ready for whatever you use it for. Sometimes I use the wool, short stuff like this, after it's been cleaned, for nesting material for other rabbits. If I have a massive breeding cycle, like crossing my fingers, you guys, I'll tell you by Monday on how well I do, but I hope to have 10 or 12 girls. I haven't done that for years, you guys. But sometimes these girls, like this one, their first time being a mom, they don't do as well. So you might have to foster some kids. Or maybe they don't pull enough wool to make a nest. So that's the first thing I use this shorter pieces for, is for nesting materials. And even the really good moms, after about a week, I will take the babies out and redo their nest box for them. Some moms need, oh, I know, sweetheart. She's an armful. She's a big girl. I know. I'm going to move my little microphone up here, so hopefully it's out of her way. And I'm pushing down on her knee. See how I'm trying to get her to straighten it out? She doesn't want to, but I'm going to encourage her to so I can get a better snip. So I think if I can get her belly and legs, I might let her have a break. And then we can get Kahlua out here and work on him a little bit. Because when I was looking at Kahlua, he was one of those that I sheared all the way when he was a baby. And I have his notes somewhere. And I need to measure his wool, so I don't think Kahlúa's wool is quite long enough to harvest. So, see, my main intention is this is webby, but it's, yeah, that's going in my seconds pile, not my thirds, because it's just long enough. I don't care that it's webby for my seconds. Now, her wool even the prime is not going into my Sinfully soft yarn. That will be going for hand spinners. Yes, because it's just too long for the machinery, for one. And it's baby wool. And this baby wool is highly sought after because this is slightly webby and a little dirty, but that's going in my seconds. Let's clean up your little genital area a little bit more. I'm always taking my time. Yes, darling. Some people don't wash their thirds before they reuse it for different things. And it depends, I think, on what you want to use it for. Now, because I'm keeping a lot of these thirds that are trimmed around her little coochie area, has pee and sometimes a little bit of poop. The real poopy stuff I just throw away. I don't even mess with it anymore. But I don't want that any contamination with any other newborns. So it's worth to me the extra time. I just giving it a gentle soak. And the reason I use a laundry bag is if you guys have ever washed Angora or tried to dye Angora wool, it's a challenge. But you can keep it contained in a little laundry bag. I tried to throw my scissors. I did. Okay, it's time for shears. We're going to get the shears out and do your belly. Is that all right? Now this long stuff starts about right here. And another nice thing about starting down here in her genital area is she's getting used to the noise and the sensation, because I honestly don't think she's ever had the shears on her before. This is all brand new. Yeah, she's been on her back and been groomed countless times. Oh, gosh. So this is something that, depending on your rabbit, on how patient they are, on whether I should be sorting my wool now or later. God, I don't want any second cuts really in my second bin. If I had a rabbit that was just really impatient, and she is surprising me, to be honest. She's not usually this relaxed. So I'm just going with it. I'm going with the flow. Now, another thing I like to do, seconds cuts. Those are my thirds. I don't like to do this out in my she shed, but I don't have Wi-Fi out in the barn. But if I grab a handful like this, and then I turn it away to the floor, or can I do it over my garbage? Not right now. But I blow, all those little second cuts will go away. There's not that many. Oh, God, and I put it in my third pile. Jeez, the ways. That's old lady disease, right? I'm live. I can't be doing stupid stuff like that. Oh, did that tickle? There's some short stuff there we're going to get. And I got some long stuff that's slightly webby. It's going to go in my thirds. Your legs are just too long. See, she's only an F1, F1 giant, F2 French, and she's got clean feet on her front feet, not her back feet. Her back feet were woolly enough. That's all slightly webby. This stuff gets a lot of friction right here. Oh, and it's ticklish, so I want to be sensitive for her. Yep. We're going to get that out of the way. I think I'm going to have a lot of seconds from her because it's just so long. And yeah, she's going to feel so good when we get this all done, aren't you, baby? And hopefully you're going to be feeling sexy. I have a chocolate agouti buck I got from Hope, and he's going to be sheared again on his belly. God, he's got a beautiful coat. I hope I can save it for West Coast Classic because we have a giant bonanza on Sunday at West Coast Classic. Look at this. I'm going to try this. My shears is a wall. I bought this secondhand on eBay because my other ones were not working right. And there's cheaper ones out there, but hands down, you guys, these are my favorite shears. Those other ones, you can buy the whole shears as a unit and probably the same price as just the blades to these darn things. But yeah, I don't like those others because you really can't buy replacement blades. You can, but they're cheap. They're the typical China throwaway stuff, and they just don't work as good. The first few rabbits they do, but these will do hundreds and thousands of rabbits, so they're worth the money, in my opinion. And no, I'm not getting any kickback from Wall. Now, how can we get you in a position? Kahlua, he's getting impatient. I know, mister. There's a lot of second cuts in that. So those are seconds. And on the rabbits, it's kind of funny because, yeah, I'll put these up here again. Hopefully you can see the brand. Oh, yep, there you go. They just work so much better. And I found a blade sharpener guy, and I'm going to send him a bunch of my old blades. These are free flowing, very slightly webby, and very, very long, but they're still going to go in my second pile. Yep. And because I know this is going to be sensitive to her, I don't think I'm going to sort any of her dewlap. on the live. I'll do that later. That way I can just get it done. I'm just going to put her in. Yeah, I'm just going to, yeah. There's pros and cons to this, you guys. When I get to the prime, I try to sort as I go. Because I admit it, I'm human. If I put it in a tub, put it in a baggie, I'll tell myself I'm coming back to it. I'm going to sort it. And how many times do we not do that? I do it a lot. I go back. Sometimes I even look at a baggie and I don't even mark it. Good Lord. So don't do as I do. Do as I say. Oh, yeah, we're going to. When we're done with this live, we'll put the bunnies back. I'll get me another cup of coffee. And I'll get one of my books on tape for one of my favorite podcasts. And I'll make sure I sort this, label it, weigh it. Oh, this is lovely. Oh my gosh. We're getting into the really good stuff now. Holy cow. I'm going to have a vacuum back here so I can vacuum. Oh my gosh. There is no webbing. That's prime. Now, if you empty my prime bucket with those legs, I'm really going to get mad. Don't do that, okay, sweetheart? She's being so good, Miss Neslie. I can't believe it. We're going to keep knocking on wood here. Some of this is shorter stuff, so I'm going to beat anything that looks like prime. I'm going to just separate right now. Blow out the second cuts. Some more. I watched a gal on some video, this has been years ago, where she had a tumbler, a wire cage. And we're just going to put that in there. We're going to sort that later. Those are seconds. That's not as important as the prime. It's important. But anyway, she was taking her Angora wool and she was trying to demonstrate that tumbler. I've seen those tumblers. You've probably seen them for alpaca wool and other wools. It's in a big cage and it's just slow rolling, and they use a leaf blower and they blow and to get out all the dirt and debris from the sheep wool. Oh, this is beautiful. Prime stuff. Okay, sweetheart, we're going to do your dewlap. Can we do that? Sheep, I know they have a path that they follow every time. And my Angoras, they kind of tell me, of course, I'd start on the bottom and I do as much as I can. But if they get impatient in the middle and jump up, I'll probably let them stand up and I'll work on their top side a little bit. That has second cuts in it, but we're getting to where it's sensitive and we want to get this done. At least the underside. Yes. Yes. I know, sweetheart. We're going to try to make you comfortable. And I know we can do this. Yeah. I'm just holding her at the base of her neck. Not tight. I'm not hurting her. My elbow is on top of her back legs. Because even babies, those back legs are strong. And she is big. And those back legs are strong. So I'm going to sort all of that out later. Because we're just going to get this done. For those skinny girls with a lap, there is such a great way. I'm so jealous. They can put their bunnies on their laps, put their little heads between their knees, ever so gently, and they're holding them securely, just kind of like I'm doing here, but they have both hands free to do the underside. I got a really short video. I think it's still up. I'll have to make sure. When Karen was doing a demo, because she's a little girl and she was using the lap method. So if I ever find anybody else that's little and that does that, I'll try to get that so I can share that. It's always fun to learn from other people. Because I'm a firm believer there's no wrong way to do anything. Well, there is. The only wrong way is if you hurt yourself or hurt others. And that includes our beautiful rabbits. Oh, look at this. We're getting into some of the prime now. Holy cannoli. This is beautiful. We're going to sort our prime too, so I'm going to put that over there. Because I have my handy dandy brush, trying to brush out some of the seconds that I'm making. Hi, sweetheart. Are you okay? Yeah, we're going to get your sideburns because that's part of getting naked. We're going to get all that out of your way so you can enjoy the summer. Well, kind of. Because hopefully in about a month, you'll be taking care of a bunch of little baby bunnies. And Mr. Chaco, he's a gorgeous buck. Oh my God. Great density. Great personality. He's just laid back. Sweet as can be. Thank you, Tammy, for rewriting that. Yes, that's exactly the kind that we have. Well, bravo. Yes. And since she's kind of being good, we just did a little twirly whirly. I'm going to put my elbow over her legs and talk sweet nothings to her. She's starting to relax a little bit, kind of, sort of. But we're almost done with the hard part. And then we'll let you have a break. Oh, yeah, lovely stuff. Yeah. Yep. Oh, you're such a... Oh, my God. This is beautiful. Some of this might be prime. Oh, my goodness. A lot of that is prime. Oh, my gosh. But I promised you I'd focus on you. Yep. Armpits are always a trouble area, so I always try to make sure those are sheared. And I'm holding on to her a little more snugly, because I'm sure she's ticklish. Hi. Now, because she's being so good, I'm going to trim her little cheeks. She doesn't need that. If I trim some of her whiskers, that's okay. But while I have a hold of her head here, I can get right up there so that won't be causing any nuisance. Oh, there's a little bit. And look at that whisker. That's an eyelash. That's. We're just going to cut that down a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know why. We didn't need to do that, but we just did. Oh my gosh, you're beautiful. So she might be done for a few hours. Okay, I'm going to let loose of her. Put her on her back. There's still some second cuts. Would you look at this coat? Oh my gosh. So this is just something that I try to do. I always leave the top side for the last. Now, if I leave her for a few hours, not just for a few minutes like I'm going to do now, if I leave her for a few hours, I always want to make sure I blow her out. Because there's some second cuts and some pieces that I might not have grabbed. Those are seconds. In the back of her ears, she's not bad, but I'm just going to trim all that off. She don't need any of that. And I know I can get my shears back there. Can I get my shears? I'm going to coax her. I'm moving her feet forward. It's like, nope, you're not going anywhere, sweetheart. Get the scissors out of reach. I'm going to just shear the back of her neck a little bit here and where the wool is shorter. I'm holding her skin back. I'm not pulling on it at all. Oh my goodness gracious. And that all need to be sorted out. There's a bunch of second cuts there. I know. And the nice thing about doing this is after I get done doing what I'm doing with the other bunnies and our live today, this is my plan for her. Okay, sweetheart, I always think there's just one more. She's like, nope, I'm done. So instead of fighting with her, I'm just going to let her go. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my God. All right. God, you guys. Yes, there you go. Nope. I have a little double cage over here. They are at that age where like, oh, smells good over there. You girl, I'm boy. So that's a good sign. But yeah, you guys aren't going to do it. So anyway, with Miss Neslie, when we're done with the live, I think what I'll do is I'll take her over there by the blower, blow her out, let her sit in her cage, have lunch. And then I'll have all this cleaned up and I can focus on the prime. And later today, that prime might even be up for sale on our website. Oh. Yep. Now, this is Mr. Kahlúa. You're a sibling to the little girl over there. He also had a blowout today. First thing I'm going to do is decide if I'm going to shear him. Excuse me. Am I going to shear and harvest your wool? See, now with the guard hair, if you measure the guard hair, it's 5 inches. I know it's hard to see. Yes, sweetheart. But the on wool and the on fluff is right at, it's just under 3 inches. Yeah. So I like it to be 4 inches on top, because when you get around to the sides and other stuff, your prime will be generally anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 1 inch shorter. And where he's not even quite 3 inches. So he is not getting a haircut today. I just counter. I just said earlier I was going to share everybody. But this is an example of where this is an investment. The bunny has worked hard on this, and we don't want to share it too soon, because this will go into my Sinfully soft yarn, I believe. Even though he's the same age as their siblings, right? But it's a different wool structure. Neslie is just too long. It's a show coat. It's her very first baby coat. We trimmed off that baby coat several months ago, and this is his second coat. So he's a wool producer. That's what he is. Aye. Yeah, that's what you are. And if your body is good and your temperament and all that other stuff, we might use you in my shearing program, but chances are I have so many great bucks. He's not. And where he's an F2 French, F1 Giant, he probably won't make the cut. He's going to be culled or sold as a wooler. Because I can tell already his body just isn't. He's longer, he's flat. Yep. And he's hippie. And you get to see him when he's naked in about 3 to 4 weeks. 1 more month for sure. We'll harvest him. But he's flat, and I call it, giddy up right here. Why do I say giddy up? But you can feel their hips. You want a nice rise, kind of like a football, and then back down, starting right at the back of the neck, up and over. He's like flat, and it's not smooth. He's healthy. I mean, he's got meat on him. He's not a lightweight by no means. I think I weighed him. He's 10 pounds this morning. At 8 months old, that's right. That's giantish. And he's on only an F1 Giant. And look at these furnishings. And he's got the woolly front feet. He's got the density, the proper wool structure for a giant. I don't like his coloring, but he's a dilute. I don't know. But I want a little bit more color in there. He's almost white. His wool down there, his on. Yeah, so I'm not really thrilled about the coloring either. Yeah. But to dye his wool, can I turn you upside down? Can we see your belly? So regardless of what I do with him, he is definitely going to get his belly trimmed. Now look at those woolly front feet. And he's only an F1 giant or F2 French. So I don't know. If you had just a little better body, man. We're going to get, I cleaned up his back legs not too long ago. So if you guys are squeamish, you can turn away. This is a boy. This is what boys do. They make a mess. Now on the feet, you can see where I've trimmed the balls of the feet. The pad underneath his toes, but I never, ever, ever, ever trim on their heels. He's got plenty of padding there, but we don't want to lighten that up at all because it just never grows. Right behind it will. Now he's got some dirty stuff here I'm not even going to save. I'm not even going to save this dirty stuff. Can I put you in my elbow hold? And I'm trying not to lean in too far because those back legs are like little springs. We don't want to get in the way. Whenever you start working on dirty parts like this, never touch your nose. Some of this real dirty stuff I'm just going to throw away. Yeah. Some of this really dirty stuff, we don't need to worry about that. But anything that has just a little bit of dirty will be saved for my thirds. And he's got wool everywhere. And this is where I need to slow down. Make sure I don't cut anything. He's like, yeah, please don't. Please don't cut anything. And his tail, he doesn't even need his tail, right? Well, we're not going to cut his tail, but his tail wool. Look at that. It's 11 o'clock already, you guys. Gosh. How time flies. Holy cannoli. But if you have any questions on shearing or sorting or anything to do with Angora rabbits, send me a note. We'll either cover it live or I'll try to send you the answer one way or another. I may not have all the answers, but I might be able to help you find the answer. And never stop learning. My way is not always the right way for everybody. So you need to find your way. Yeah. I'm going to keep using the scissors and just get in around here. Continue to clean that up. And then when I put him back in his cage, he'll be much more comfortable. Yeah. And I'll put him on the schedule for a month from now. To get his top side done. Okay, we're going to do your belly. And I need to do your nails too, but we're going to do that as soon as I finish your belly. His belly has been sheared. Oh, gosh. I think it was just last time we sheared you. I think. But it's really not long enough to save the seconds. So I'm just going to put all that in my third pile. So on thirds, you can use it for so many things. We talked about nesting material. You can use it for felting. One of the things that I like to do, it goes over there, is go to the thrift store, and they have certain days of the week where they have colored tags. This is seconds. Oh, I put that in the wrong tub. Good Lord. I'm going to have to get some coffee and resort my prime tub. That's all right. And I like to buy those fleece jackets that are on discount. I cut the sleeves off and I make little bunny coats for in the winter when I do shearings. Because when they get naked, they get cold. Oh my goodness. Neslie, stop it. Girlfriend. I'm going to have to put the latch on there. She's like, we can have fun. No. I'm going to get in here. I'm not being too picky because this top side will be the prime. This stuff, I'm going to get out of his way. So yeah, you could use this for stuffing. And the body of those fleece jackets, I have a real old video that I did. I'll have to find that and repost it. It was one of those winters I was going stir crazy and I was learning how to felt sheets. I'm going to do more of that too. And so I felted sheets that were half and half Angora and half some of my sheep wool. And I felted it and I put them inside those fleece jackets. And if you imagine just the bodies, right? Because I already cut off the sleeves. And I sewed them up and I made cat beds. My cats love them. Oh, yeah. Compost? Yeah. Great for compost. So since his dewlap will most likely, there's probably a good share a second. Look how fuzzy his feet are. I get excited when I see that with my hybrids. Because the goal is down the road when I selective breeding, you want those traits. You want the wool, the proper wool structure, and he's got that for a giant. We want the woolly front feet. We want the tassels. And of course, I'm more greedy because I want the proper color. Oh, yeah, tickled. Sorry, sweetheart. You're going to be so much more comfortable. And we're going to save a lot of this stuff. Okay, you win. He's like, can I get some of this stuff that I trimmed? This is where, okay, if they fight me that hard, we're not going to worry about it. We're going to get some of this stuff off. This is so short. You're going to look ridiculous, but you don't care, do you? He's got some matting going on here. We're going to see if we can't get it with the shears. Yeah, composting use for my hand spinning. Always. And thirds, oh my gosh, there's so many things. So when I hear of people throwing it away, I just kind of cringe. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so many good things you can do with all that stuff. Hi, sweetheart. He's got some matting going back here. It's hard to get the little scissors in there, so I'm just going to take little bitty snips. He just couldn't get the shears back there. That's why. He's being good now. He had enough being on his back. Yeah. So when I do shearing, I usually always do it in in stages. I always try to do the bottom first. Now, even though I didn't do much of his bottom, I didn't finish his dewlap, he's probably done for now. Not done for the day. Because when we get back to you, sweetheart, we'll finish his dewlap and cleaning up under around his arms and his sides. So the only thing left on him when I get done with him today will be his top and sides. So he'll be on our list to shear in about 4 weeks, about a month. And once I'm done with his underside today, I'll blow him out and then put him back in his regular cage so he can chill. Well, you guys, holy cow, thank you for today. It's after 11. I know we got off to a little late start. I'm constantly learning. Oh, you guys, no, don't, you. Neslie, you stay over there. She's like, good Lord. Okay, so I'm going to try to put my phone down. I think I'm there. Oh my gosh. Tammy, I love you. Not just because you have a really good name, but because you're a sweetheart too. And Paul, thanks for joining me. Holy cannoli, this was fun today. And wish me luck this weekend, you guys. So I'm going to shear my entire barn. And well, no, there's 2 exceptions now, right? One exception is those show bunnies that are destined to go to West Coast Classic, but they'll get their bellies trimmed. They're going to get naked. Their underside. And there might be other exceptions like Kahlua over here. He's not quite ready to harvest. He's almost ready to harvest. But I can still shear his entire belly, his dewlap, and a little more aggressively. And that way he can finish growing out the top side and the sides so I can get all that lovely prime from them in about a month. Yeah, I'm greedy. I'm greedy. They're so beautiful, you guys. Love you guys. Thank you. And yeah, I'll see you Monday. Thank you.